It's trunk tea time, everyone. I'm making us a delicious bowl of matcha in the morning in the back of my trunk on the way to the visits to our tea farmers. And we just need ourselves a little power shot. We call this the Matcha-spresso. Look at that beautiful color and beautiful foam. Today again I'm visiting with Valentin from Kumiko Matcha, and this is one of the matchas that he carries. It's one of his premium organic matcha. Wow! So this is one of his premium organic matchas, and we're just having this now in the morning in the back of the trunk, and look at how beautiful the packaging is. Valentin, where are we going?
Hey, we are in the tea garden in Wazuka. We're gonna check it out.
And who are we going to visit?
Huh?
Who are we going to visit?
Azuma-san.
Yes, we're going to meet Teruko-san from the Azuma tea farm. And what does she make?
She's making very delicious matcha and our Ippon Matsu matcha collaboration.
Yes, she makes a very good matcha. She makes the Ippon Matsu matcha, the solitary pine as I call it.
Yes.
It's made from the Okumidori cultivar, and she's also the producer of the amazing Wazuka no Mukashi, which is a Samidori cultivar, very sweet, very delicious and koicha suitable tea. It's one of the very few organic, natural, and that one is actually pesticide free matchas that is suitable for koicha. So we're very excited to just walk around in the tea gardens, meet the producers and have a good time together, aren't we?
Yes, it's going to be amazing.
Yes.
Let's check it out.
Hey! Konnichiwa! Oh. 暑いですね。
Good to see you. こんにちは。
お変わりなく。
Happy to see you. Hello. Hi.
また少し大人になった感じ。
You've gotten a little bit more grown up now, she says.
Thank you.
So we're meeting Teruko-san today, and we're going to, well, look at the beautiful tea gardens and see where the delicious matcha is made.
Yes.
The next tea garden that they're going to harvest is here on this very steep slope. It's a very tough task, and you can see this this man standing there. He's rolling up the black blinds that are put out over the tea trees to shade them to create matcha, and you can see how steep this this slope is. So they have to carry the handheld harvester over this tea garden, over these tea bushes to cut off the fresh leaf, and it's a very heavy machine, so doing this on these slopes is a very tiring task, and especially in this hot sun weather, they're putting in a lot of effort to bring us the greatest teas. So this is how tea is harvested. Here behind me you see two persons hold the handheld harvester, and they hold it close over the surface to shear off the fresh new growth. Those are the fresh tea leaves and tea buds that they want to have for the manufacturing of matcha. And in the bag that is behind the cutter, that is where the tea leaves are gathered. And so after they've done one line, the bag is released from the cutter and then a new bag is put on. And here you see that someone else then picks up the bag and carries it to the truck. We've got these small trucks over here, and that is where the bags with tea leaves are gathered, and that's how they're driven to the factory. Now, before they are put inside the truck, they're keeping them a little bit in the shade, because if you put these freshly cut leaves in the sun, here they are in the shade, if you put them in the sun, then they start to oxidize and go bad. So in order to preserve the tea, you see he doesn't put them directly in the truck, but he puts them in this little container so that there's a little bit of shade and the tea leaves can be maintained fresh. Valentin just got to harvest for the first time. He was able to assist them holding the handheld harvester.
It was an incredible feeling. It felt like driving a motorbike for the first time. It felt, you know, dangerous and vibrant, and I was sweating. You know, I didn't want to screw it up, and so it was so cool. Thank you, yes.
Hey, so first time harvesting tea, and great experience. So now all the harvested tea is being loaded onto the truck, and then the tea is covered with the black shade on top so that they still get a little bit of shade, because direct sunlight will cause the tea again to oxidize and go bad. So by the time it reaches the factory, they would like to protect it a little bit, and so now we're off to the factory. There we're gonna see how the tea is produced, and the delicious tea that we've harvested from the tea garden over there is what we are transporting right now. Production facility. This is where they make matcha in the back. There is the steaming machine, and over here this is where the tea leaves are blown up and aerated, cooled down, and then they go into this oven. This is a big 10 to 15 meter long tencha oven. This in 3 layers. The tea is processed through, and it is heated and dried until it comes out on the end of the oven. You can see I'm sweating. It's very, very hot in here. It's a very tough conditions to be working in. And let's have a look at what comes out. Here you can see the tea coming out after the 3rd drying stage. Very crisp, very delicious, and because it's tencha, organic for matcha, you can eat it. Very, very good. Not bitter at all, very delicious, and it's almost like the freshest matcha you can taste. You're just eating the tea leaf. So good. So here you see the dry tea leaf falling off, and after this there is more processing. The tea is dried further, it's cut, stems are separated from the leaf, and you get your tencha in the end, and then it's ready for matcha. We're drinking some handmade, hand-picked, hand-processed oolong tea at the Azuma tea farm. Very nice, very roasty, very fragrant, little bit of florality. Really delicious. Refreshing after a day out in the warm weather. We're tasting the difference not between teas but between cups. This is a cup made in Japan, and this is a cup made by the person who is brewing the tea here. He's a famous potter in Singapore, and they're saying that this cup, because the soil is more porous, is going to be tasting more intense, more bitter, and this one is more sweet and mellow because of the calculations that the potter made in the porosity of the soil and the type of creation that he made. So let's give it a try. Well, first of all, it's a sencha, so there is some astringency and bitterness in there. I almost don't want to believe it. But this is indeed a lot more rounded, a lot more mellow, sweeter, and much softer in the mouth. And it's just the difference between the cup, because it's the same tea that we're drinking. Wow, that's an interesting experience. Why is it so different?
I think maybe I drink a lot of tea, and I love to drink all kind of tea from China, Japan, and even countries like Vietnam, Thailand. So I always try to make teaware that actually suitable for tea. For example, you know, there's a curve here. Actually, this curve and this rounded edge is suitable for our lips. So when we put on top here, so the feel of the curve is just automatically roll, and you won't feel something that too big or too rough when the ring of the teacup touches our lips. So that's one of the things that we usually put into consideration when we come to making teaware. Have to be functional and then performance. Thank you.
Did you hear that? It's amazing.
It's like in life, you know, in a Chinese saying, they always say that 先苦后甜，苦尽甘来. It's like how we work so hard in the farm, every day carrying steep slope, high slope, carry 10 to 20 kg of tea. And after processing, when we drink the tea, it's like it's actually worth it. So for tea, we always have bitter and sweet. If we can endure the bitterness, we can taste the sweetness in life and in tea. Thank you.
That's so beautiful. So we had a great tea time. We're still tasting some senchas and very delicious teas, very good sencha, very good matcha, very good oolong. A lot of stories about teaware and tasting and brewing tea. A very mindful moment at the Azuma tea farm. And now it's time to head to our next destination. Next stop, the wild tea gardens of our tea farmer Yamazaki Tokuya. This is one of his shaded tea gardens, and we'll find out if he's making either matcha or gyokuro out of it. But it's a shaded shelf type structure with the tea trees under it, and you can hear him harvesting right now. So we'll go saying hi and have a great time with Tokuya. There is Tokuya harvesting his tea, and we're going to go and say hello. Tokuya-san, hello. Thank you for receiving us. And we saw your beautiful tea garden for the delicious matcha. We're expecting a beautiful and delicious tea this year. How do you think it is?
Yeah, it's very quiet tea leaves. It's samidori.
Samidori.
Yeah, maybe.
And this year is good?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's good news for us to hear. Well, thank you again for showing us around, and happy to see you again.
See you.
So the tea garden that we're in is a matcha tea garden with samidori tea bushes, which he uses for the creation of one of his delicious matcha teas. And we carry his native matcha, which is again a different tea garden, but I mean his matcha is very interesting and very delicious and very how should I say, natural and wild. In Tokuya's tea gardens there are a lot of weeds, ferns, bamboo grass, other kinds of vegetation, a lot of these very natural growth, and he usually lets it all grow through, and then before the harvest puts it back and down. And you can see in between his tea trees there's a lot of this natural vegetation that he has cut back and laid back in between the lanes of tea trees to decompose and then become nourishment for the tea again. So he keeps the natural cycle of the tea garden by maintaining this natural vegetation. So he doesn't have to add anything additional to the tea garden that is not natural to this environment. And that is how he creates his very delicious and wild natural teas. お疲れ様です。
はい、お疲れ様です。
The whole truck full. We've just loaded all the tea on the truck, and it's packed till the top. So they've harvested a lot of tea for matcha from this beautiful shaded tea garden over here. And again, the truck is shaded off so that on the way back to the factory the teas don't catch any sunlight, so the leaf stays fresh and cool. And now we're on the way to the factory in the back of Tokuya's truck. He's driving, and I think you might still remember Tokuya from our last video that we did in winter when we went to go and do a cold waterfall expedition, and we stood under the waterfall together, had a ice cold waterfall shower. And if you haven't seen that video, go and check it out. I'll put the link here and in the description below. I think you'll enjoy that one as well. Beautiful tea gardens, amazing days with great tea producers.
Yes.
Valentin, how has your trip been so far?
Thank you, Tias. The trip has been amazing. This day was so cool. We We witnessed harvesting. We even participated in the harvesting, and we met several tea farmers and tea harvesters. It was super cool. The tea looks amazing, and we even got to eat the tea leaves that were freshly out of the oven. It was really cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I personally think that this year is very good for tea. I think the harvest and the teas that I've tasted so far are already very, very sweet, very delicious. There's nothing that actually has affected the tea this year during growth. So it's really a good year, a good harvest, I would think. Don't you think?
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait to taste it. So around October,
Yeah.
something like that.
So
Thank you, Tias. Great.
well,
trip.
thank you for coming.
Yes.
Well, thank you for having us today. It's really wonderful to see your beautiful tea gardens, and we're looking forward to this year's delicious teas.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Well, what an amazing day it was again. We visited the Azuma tea farm. We met Teruko-san, and we did some harvesting even ourselves. We saw
yes.
the beautiful matcha gardens, and then we came to see Tokuya and his beautiful tea fields. And well, again, we learned a lot. We had great experiences.
It was so amazing. Thank you, Tias. It was super cool. We had such a full day of like harvesting, meeting tea farmers, and wow, so cool.
Yes, and it's dark now. You can barely see us, and we've just been drinking tea with Tokuya until now, and so it's already well into the evening, and well, we'll call it a day here. I think we're bellies are full, minds are full. We've had a great day.